Okay, so here's a quick tour of the portable radios, starting with some of the more basic features and then working our way to the more advanced features. So it's already on, but I'm sure you guys have all figured out now how to turn them on. So just turning this knob out of the detent, and then this becomes your volume. So to the right means you're getting louder, to the left means you're getting quieter. So then when we look at the screen itself, you can see the battery level right here. This top line is simply the zone that you're in. Okay, so currently the radio is in the AirMed 1 zone. Okay, this middle line is the channel that you're on within this zone. Okay, so currently we're in the AirMed 1 zone, and our channel is AirMed 1 Des Moines. And then this bottom line is the name of the radio. So this will never change, and each radio should have its own specific name. Okay, so to change zones, we would see that we have zone there on the screen. So we'd push the button at the bottom there that correlates with that. And then as we scroll through with this up, down, left, right, we can scroll through and select the zone we're in. Your zone should primarily just always be on whatever base you're in. So if you're working in Des Moines, there's really no reason to ever change from AirMed 1. And then if you're in Knoxville, same thing. Just make sure that your radio is in AirMed 2. So we're going to say we're working in Des Moines today, so we're going to go back to AirMed 1 and then select. So we're in the correct zone. So now that we're in the zone we want, we need to change the channels. So to change channels, that's what this top knob here does. So as I scroll through, you notice the middle line changes. So if I go back to the beginning, AirMed 1 Des Moines, that's what we would receive our pages on if you were working in Des Moines. This is the AirMed channel, so that's what we talk to dispatch to in flight. That is Knoxville's paging channel. This would be the reports channel if you were to utilize that channel for a report. Typically we just use AirMed. We have some ops channels if we were doing an event, and then we get into the ISIC system. So they have region 1 with the different TAC channels in case you were to need to get a hold of a ground contact on the ground with your portable radio. And as we go through region 1, then we also move to region 5. So we have region 1 and region 5 in that zone, as well as all the dispatch channels. So that's how you change channels. As we move on with the radio, we look on this left side, we have a few different buttons. I'm sure you guys have all figured out the big one here is the push to talk. So press and hold, and then relay whatever message you need. This top button right here, if I press it, that's scan on and scan off. So if you notice in the top left corner here, this little Z with an arrow, that means you're scanning. So I'm currently scanning, now I'm not scanning. And you notice at the bottom of the screen, it also says scan on, scan off. Okay, so that's how you turn scan on and off. These other two buttons right here, this top of the smaller circle buttons, just shows recent calls. We don't use this feature. Don't worry about this. This bottom small button here is the screen dimmer. So you can have daytime or nighttime ops with the radio screen. That's all it does. Okay. Lastly, as far as the exterior buttons go, this red or orange button, that is for emergency use, although our radios are currently not programmed to use it. So I know that everyone says, don't push this orange button, it sends an alarm in dispatch. As of today, this orange button is not active. So if you do accidentally press it, don't worry about it. It may be a feature that's added at some point though. Okay, so I've had a lot of people mention, if they put their radio on scan, that some days they hear, AirMed 1, AirMed 2, AirMed 3, and 4 traffic, and then other days their radio's on scan and they're hearing no traffic. So I'm gonna kind of show you how to troubleshoot that. So first of all, we need to have that Z up there, right? So that means we're now on scan. But the radio will only scan what we tell it to scan, okay? And so to find out what the radio is scanning and not, we go to this, and that's the scan list. So to get into the scan list, you press this little 2-dot button here. Okay, so when we look at the screen, currently we are editing the scan list, and we're editing the scan list for AirMed 1 zone, okay? So if you notice, as I scroll down on these channels, just this line is gonna change because I'm in AirMed 1 zone, and then here's my different channels within that zone, okay? So if I just wanna scan, let's just start at the top here. So AirMed 1 Des Moines. Now you're gonna look at that channel, and then you're gonna look up at the top. Notice there is no scan Z symbol. So if I wanna scan AirMed 1 Des Moines, I'm gonna select it. Now notice there's a Z. So that means now when my radio is in scan mode, it's gonna scan for that channel. So anytime traffic comes across that channel, I'm gonna hear it. If I hit the select button again, notice a little dot appears next to the scan symbol. That dot means that the radio is going to prioritize that channel over other channels if multiple people are talking on different channels at the same time. So if I'm working in Des Moines and my biggest priority is hearing my AirMed 1 pages, then I need to make sure that that channel, AirMed 1 Des Moines, is on the scan list and has the little priority dot so that you never miss a page. So as I scroll down to the next channel here, AirMed, I have the Z symbol, so I will hear any traffic within the air across the AirMed channel. If we wanted to get rid of that, you just simply hit this until the Z symbol goes away. If I do want to hear it, then I go to the Z, and if I want to prioritize that channel, then I put the dot on it. So as you go through your list, or if you're not hearing the traffic you want to be hearing throughout the day, we'll just start at the beginning. I go to my scan list, and then I make sure that I'm in the zone that I'm looking for. So if I'm in Des Moines, I'm on my right zone, and then I go through each channel and go AirMed 1 Des Moines is scanning. Although I would add the dot to that one so I don't miss a page. Scroll down to the next one, AirMed traffic. If I want to hear that, I am going to see the scan symbol, so that's good. If you wanted to hear Knoxville, then you would want to hit select. Now I have the scan symbol, so it's going to scan that channel, and so on and so forth. Anytime you need to just get out of a menu, you can either hit the back button or you can also hit the home button, and that will just get you back to your normal screen. Lastly, if we go left and right on this little keypad here, we can also see the battery status. So you can just get a quick information about your battery. And then this is Bluetooth. Don't worry about it. We don't have any Bluetooth accessories to connect to the radio, so not of your concern. And that's really the only options. So again, if you need to change the zone, which you really shouldn't, just make sure that your zone matches your base. And then if you are someone that wants to listen to specific channels, you need to go to that scan list at the beginning of your shift and check the different channels and see if you have that scan symbol there or not there. All right, thanks again, guys. And if you have more questions, please feel free to reach out and ask.